What is good, ingenious family? Welcome back to another video. So as you can tell, this is going to be a little bit different style of content. I ain't posted cooking or baking videos yet. So essentially what the idea for today is I'm just going to make one recipe. I'm going to aim to do 1 or 2 a week. I don't know if I'm going to end up doing them in the same video or how exactly I'm going to structure this yet, but honestly I just got a camera, press record, and now I'm going. So on today's menu, we have a strawberry cheesecake. I never baked cheesecake before, and I'm not a cheesecake fan myself, but that's why I wanted to make it, because I never made it before. So essentially, I'm gonna kind of do a play on like a strawberry churro cheesecake. I definitely forgot the condensed milk, but the reason why I didn't want to do it is because the recipe I seen for the base, for the crust, it was dough, and I don't want to do that. So I got some Biscoff cookies here, pre-smashed. I'm gonna make a strawberry puree to swirl around in the cheesecake mixture, and then yeah, we're just gonna see how it goes. I'm very excited to start this video, and honestly, like, my goal with this channel is just to make videos that I would want to see. When I was a kid growing up, I was always watching How to Cake It. I don't remember this other lady's name. I feel like her first name was Anne. She had made a Rainbow Dash cake and an Inside Out cake. If that was you, yo, I used to watch your videos all the time. But Cupcake Wars, just Food Network, like, I've always been into culinary since I was a kid. I had an easy bake oven and all of that. But the first thing I'm gonna do is make a strawberry puree so that can be cooling while I'm making the cheesecake batter, because I don't want the mixture to be too hot to the point where it separates. So we're gonna make the strawberry puree first, and then we're gonna make the little shortbread cookie dough crust, and then I'm gonna make the cheesecake batter last anyways, because I need my room temperature sour cream, cream cheese, and my eggs. I need all that to reach room temp. So I'm still waiting for that, but that's what we're gonna get into right now. We're gonna make that strawberry puree. Okay, and for strawberry syrup, is relatively simple. So I have all of my ingredients laid out right here. So I have some oranges, some lemon zest, some lemons, and then just some cut up and washed strawberries. So I'm gonna get a bigger sauce pot because of how many strawberries I cut up. So essentially what you're gonna do is just add your strawberries to the pot over a medium-high heat. So go ahead and add your strawberries, and what you're basically gonna do is just wait for it to boil, or simmer, I should really say. So once all of that gets to simmering, we're gonna add in some sugar. Not all of this, I just poured some in just to sprinkle it in because I'm gonna add it for taste. Same thing with the brown sugar, and then lemon juice. And every single time I always make strawberry puree, I always add too much lemon juice. So the goal today is to not do that. I'm definitely gonna have to get my taste tester, aka my little brother, because every time I make it, I always have to have him taste it to make sure I didn't add too much. And then I do have a little bit of lemon zest as well. So when I add the juice, I'm gonna add the tiniest amount. And then, like I said, oranges are always just a refreshing taste. I like this. This is a really good citrus, just because of how I feel like it's subtle, but you can definitely taste that it's there. So while we're waiting for that, we're gonna work on that cookie dough, cookie bread, the crust. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Okay, then on a piece of paper, I went ahead and I wrote down a few people that I want to get in the kitchen with in life, but I'm gonna go ahead and manifest it and say this year. So I'm just gonna pull a name out of my pocket and then explain why I would want to be in the kitchen with them. So first name, I'm gonna go ahead, let y'all read that first. Hold on, I can't. I'll go ahead and read it if you can. All right. Yo, number one, I got Gucci Mane. Okay, hear me out, guys. One, I live in Georgia, so you know he's like on the Mount Rushmore of Atlanta. But his music is just super dope. I like the hustling flow. I like the hustling characteristic in that man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, every time I listen to him, I feel like I'm finna get me some money. So I just feel like he would be super cool to cook with. And then plus, y'all think he's a clone. I don't know why y'all think that, but I just feel like it'd be cool to have a science experiment in my kitchen. And yeah, but for the first step, we can go ahead and get into it. We are just going to take our smashed cookies and add them to a bowl, and then we're just gonna pour some melted butter on top to create a sandy texture. And it feels so cool, like, being the one who's actually making the recipes in front of the camera instead of just like being the, I don't know, consumer behind the screen. Because like I said, I was always watching videos like this when I was a kid, and I always wanted to be them so bad. I always thought it was so cool. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be on here more. Like, just definitely plan to see me a lot more this year, especially like baking and cooking, because I'm trying to develop my skills at both. Just gonna take a look at mine. Okay, had to make sure that strawberry puree wasn't boiling over. So we're just gonna add all of our cookies to the bowl. And this is only 1 pack of Biscoff cookies, by the way. I think I got like the airline size ones. And funny thing is, I've never had these before. I know Biscoff cookies are like super popular for when you get on the plane and just like cookie butter in general. But I've never had cookie butter or Biscoff cookies. But I'm assuming they're popular for a reason. So I'm definitely excited to try the cheesecake, even though I don't like cheesecake. But I'm making it, so, you know, I feel like it's going to be different. Okay, so yeah, the strawberries are getting active. So I'm going to finish adding this to the bowl. And then I'm going to switch angles and get back over to our strawberry syrup. Okay, so now that our strawberries are simmering, and I did add a little bit of fat, which is our butter. So now that they're simmering, this is the part I always mess up at, y'all. I always end up adding too much citrus, doing too much, overthrowing the strawberry flavor. I definitely want that sweetness from the strawberries to shine through in this cheesecake. So I'm going to try to be as light with the zest and the lemon and all of that as possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a juicer here. I'm going to turn it down while I do this, just because I don't want it to keep cooking for right now. So first I'm going to go in with a little bit of sugar. You could always add more for taste. I feel like about that much is good. I'm going to go in with some dark brown sugar. I usually only use dark brown for the most part. I don't really use light brown sugar like that in any of my recipes. Y'all, I'm so nervous to touch that zest. I'm going to literally a pinch of zest. I'm not even gonna squeeze the entire lemon. I'm gonna use the other half of my lemon and just squeeze that in there. Honestly, I'm gonna go with that. I feel like that was good. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm literally traumatized from this. The orange is a little bit too big for our juicer, so I'm just gonna squeeze that itself. And honestly, I wasn't gonna add a lot anyway, so hopefully no seeds fall in. If they do, I'll just get a spoon and fish them out. Okay, so now we're gonna crank our heat back up. And we're gonna grab an immersion blender to make the consistency more smooth. So now I'm just gonna take my immersion blender, and I got this for like $30 from Target, y'all. If you wanna bake, I promise you, you can literally, like, it's a little bit hard to grasp, but anybody can do it. You don't have to have super commercial grade equipment to be a good baker. So it's bubbling again. So now I'm just gonna take the immersion blender and blend this into a smooth consistency. And I'm gonna turn it down a little bit just because I don't want it to keep boiling and splash me. That wouldn't be fun. I want it really smooth. I don't want choppy chunks of strawberry in my cheesecake. I want the same consistency throughout. And it's that easy. So now I'm gonna give it a taste test and let it simmer for a little bit more. But this is the part where you really want to taste it to see if you need to add anything else. Typically here I always have to add more strawberries because again the flavor is taken over, but I'm about to give it a little taste test. And as a chef, you should always be tasting your food. You need to know what you're serving to your consumers. And honestly, I feel like I should have made a little bit more. This might be enough because I need equal parts of this and the sour cream, which is half a cup. But I also need to drizzle some in to swirl it. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. But we're definitely going to taste it now. Beautiful coat on the back of the spoon, by the way. Now we're just going to give it a little taste test. Okay, for once, I didn't kill the flavor. It just needs to be sweeter. So I'm going to add a little bit more sugar now. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. Add a little bit more sugar. I'm gonna add a pinch more of some brown sugar. Okay guys, so adding that little bit more of sugar, zest, and orange juice made it perfect. I just tasted it. I had my brother taste it. So now we're gonna set this to the side for it to cool because again, I do not want to add it to the cheesecake batter and it separates because of the temperature. So we're gonna let that get to room temperature. Before I start the crust, let's go ahead and just pull another name. I got like 5 or 6 names in my pocket. Next person that I'm trying to cook with. Oh, I already seen this one, but hey, Miss Ari, what's up? I mean, like, we can get in the kitchen together. Like, you thought you could really cook. So, I'm just trying to see, like, what's up? You feel me? Like, but not for real. Ari really do some cool. She really be throwing down in the kitchen. I didn't even know she cooked for real. And her interviews be cool. I think the last one, I'm not gonna lie, I watched was with Ray Monte. That was definitely an interview. Actually, you're not in my pocket, but Ray Monte, we could definitely get in the kitchen together. I'm not gonna lie. We could definitely cook, bake some. You feel me? You want a classic ATL brunch? I got you, bro. Just let me know. But I already got my cookies crushed up in the bowl. I already added that last clip as y'all seen. So now what I'm gonna do is, right here, this is 19 grams of butter, but honestly, it might not be enough. But at the same time, you don't want a lot, because the thing is, you kind of want to keep the consistency that's at right now, but just like a little bit thicker, enough to where like the cheesecake batter won't go through the crust, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and melt this right quick, and then because I'm doing a play on the churro cheesecake, I am gonna go ahead and add some cinnamon and basically make a cinnamon sugar mixture to add to my butter, and then sprinkle that. Honestly, actually, I lied. I'm gonna add the dry ingredients into the cookie crumbs, and then I'm just gonna pour the butter over it. So that's what y'all gonna see next. Okay, while we're waiting for our butter to melt, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and add some dry ingredients into the cookies. So I'm taking a little bit of cinnamon, just a little. Again, dark brown sugar, all I use. I don't know nothing about that light stuff. That's all y'all. And I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle of that. A little bit, just because I don't want it to caramelize and like end up making the crust burn. So just a little bit for taste. I could do a little bit more. Definitely do a little bit more. Okay. I feel like, oh my God, y'all, the cookies by itself already smells good. So I can't wait to see how the cheesecake is looking. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like OD excited for this. But a dash, literally a dash. Like, you see I was tripping about them lemons back there? I promise y'all, it's worse with nutmeg. Like, nutmeg is such a strong spice. All you ever need is a dash, and I was burning my fingers. Whew, I had to keep it together for y'all, I'm not gonna lie. Whew, I burned my fingers so bad getting that butter. Yo, that's mad funny, bruh. But literally, a sprinkle. That's it. I ain't adding no more. I promise you, if you think it's not a lot, you gonna taste it. Like, all you need is a little sprinkle, a pinch, a dash, whatever you want to call it. That's what you gotta throw in your bowl. And then I'm just gonna get the tiniest bit of sugar. Honestly, hold on, before I do this, because I feel like I'm modifying the recipe too much. And if you know anything about baking, it's an exact science. So I don't know if I should throw off this crust too much. What y'all think at home? Should I add the white sugar or no? I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna play it safe. Instead of adding the white sugar, I'm gonna just add a little bit more brown sugar. And then I'm gonna pour that melted butter over it. And I'm gonna fold it together with a rubber spatula. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go a little bit more brown sugar. And this is not even a lot in itself. But honestly, I just didn't want to take away from too much of that strawberry flavor. That's what we're really looking for. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be a strawberry cheesecake, not a snickerdoodle cheesecake. But now I'm gonna take this melted butter and fold it together over the cookies with a rubber spatula. So let's see. Oh, y'all, this bowl is mad hot. Dang, let me back up a little and make sure y'all can see the whole process. I'm just gonna pour it over because I can tell it's not a lot. Yeah, I'm definitely about to have to go ahead and melt some more. Yo, that was nothing. That was literally nothing, bro. Sheesh, that was already 19 grams right there. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just melt a lot, and then I'm gonna just use it as needed. That's the smartest thing I can do. Instead of trying to guesstimate, I'm just gonna use the rest of this unsalted butter that I have set off to the side right here and go ahead and melt that. And I did get some Kerrygold for this, but I already had unsalted butter in the fridge. And FIFO, first in, first out. So this is getting used first. I use that unsalted Kerrygold, but that's the premium butter. If you know about that, hey, you can get in the kitchen with me too. I promise you, we can definitely cook something up. But I'm gonna go ahead and melt the rest of this and then pour it over the cookies. And while I'm doing that, honestly, we can just go ahead, pull another name, see who else I'm trying to duke it out in the kitchen with. All right, let's go ahead. Next name we got. It's the lint all over it for me. This one, I don't know who this one is. I'm gonna let y'all see first. Can y'all see? I got lint on my hand. I'm about to wash my hands in a second. No worries, y'all. All right, so we got Wiz. Man, we could, you feel me? Like, we could bake and then we could bake. Double entendre, like, double entendre with Wiz. I'm trying to bake it in. Bake, you feel me? Like, I don't know, everybody always go, oh, this stuff needs to melt a little bit. Everybody always chooses Snoop over Wiz. And personal preference for me, I'm gonna have to say Wiz. Bro, Wiz is so cool, bro. He's out the way. He just mad chill. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I might be glazing a little bit, but Wiz is definitely cooler than Snoop to me personally. And it might just be like a disconnect between the generations type thing. But Wiz is our generation Snoop. Y'all know I'm not lying when I say that. Like, Wiz is our Snoop, literally. So I'm definitely gonna have to get in the kitchen with Wiz. And that's not to say I wouldn't get in the kitchen with Snoop, because I know he was cooking with Martha Stewart, and I know he has his own cookbook, so he could definitely throw it on as well. But if I had to feature anybody, it would be Wiz before Snoop. I'm sorry. Respectfully. Okay, and I did go ahead and just add that extra butter off camera because y'all seen it, y'all get the point. So now we're just gonna go ahead and press our cookie mixture into the bottom of this pan, throw it in the oven for 10 minutes at 350. And I'm so nervous. I really hope I did this right. Y'all never made cheesecake before, never ate cheesecake before. And I do see there are some larger chunks that didn't really get smashed, and I'm hoping it doesn't throw it off too much. But yeah, so I'm just gonna pack this in here so y'all can see. Y'all can see that? All right, so I'm gonna give it one more press for good luck, and then it's gonna go in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. And of course I already have my oven preheated, so it's already at 350. But go ahead, throw this in here. And it's currently what? It's 357, so 407, that'll be coming out the oven. So now we're gonna work on our cheesecake batter while we wait for that to bake. Okay, now we're on to our cheesecake batter. The cookie crust currently has 4 more minutes left. That 10 minutes actually flew by. But for our batter, we're just gonna go ahead and add 4 blocks of cream cheese to our clean mixer bowl. And then we're just gonna slightly beat this, or paddle it, mix it, however you wanna say it, for like 30 seconds, if that. Okay, so now that I actually paddled that together, I'm gonna add the sugar, salt, and vanilla, like I said. So we have half a cup of sugar here. That's a lot of sugar. Half a cup, just add that into the mixer. About a gram of salt. Go ahead, come on. And then a little bit of our vanilla extract. You know I got the big bottle. Keep this on me. That should be enough. I'll do a little splash more. Now we're gonna mix that together. And once that's all combined, we're gonna add our strawberry puree and sour cream, which is equal parts. And I used 120 grams of each, if you were wondering. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and scrape our bowl with a rubber spatula as well, because you guys can see that the sugar is getting stuck to the bottom and the sides, and that's not what you want, because when I end up pouring this into the tin, it's not gonna have consistent flavor because I didn't scrape it and make sure everything was equally combined. So that's why scraping your bowl is always very important when it comes to baking. Okay, so off camera, I did scrape the bowl, just make sure everything was fully incorporated together some more. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our equal parts of sour cream and strawberry. And then I do have some room temp beaten eggs that we're gonna add after that as well. So first we're gonna go in with our sour cream. And I got my rubber spatula right here. This is like a kitchen essential, low-key. So go ahead, go in with the sour cream. Y'all, I'm so excited. And for that crust, the way I tested it to make sure I added enough butter, I just grabbed a handful of it and squeezed it together. And if all the cookie crumbs stayed together and like didn't fall apart, like it stayed compact, that's how I just assumed it was enough butter. I'm praying that was a good method. And then we're gonna fold in our strawberry puree as well. And this was never really hot to begin with, since I kept it on a low temperature. Y'all saw I turned it down mad times, so it's definitely safe enough to go ahead and fold that in as well. And I know they did mention something about not getting air into the batter, so I'm honestly gonna stop mixing it there. It looks pretty well incorporated, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add my room temperature eggs into the cheesecake mixture, and then we're gonna add it to the pan. So let's go ahead and add those eggs in. Okay, and it has been 10 minutes, so I did go ahead and remove our crust from the oven. I'm currently still working on the batter, so I'm just gonna set that up here for right now. not let it cool too much. Work on that batter, knock that out right quick, and then we're gonna go into the oven. And yeah, and I thought before that we should just go ahead and pull another name because I low-key forgot that was a segment I was doing. I have 3 more names in here. Yeah, I have 3. So next person I want to duke it out in the kitchen with. Oh, it looks like it might be upside down. I don't know what I wrote on this one. Let's see who it is. Oh, my girl, Issa Rae. Bro, I don't even, that's self-explanatory. Have y'all seen Insecure? Bro, she's hilarious. Like, I would love to be in the kitchen with her. I feel like I'd be dying the whole entire time. We probably wouldn't even get nothing cooked. Like, that would be hilarious. And let me know in the comments who y'all think was the worst friend. Her or Molly. And if you say her, you can go ahead and unsubscribe. Because Molly, passive aggressive, got an issue for no reason. She just too grown. She can't address nothing. No, we don't want to be in the kitchen with Molly. I'll be in the kitchen with your actress, with like the real lady who actually played Molly. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. I hope that's not disrespectful. But definitely want to get in the kitchen with Issa for sure. That would be so cool. And we're just gonna pour it over. And then I am gonna add some more strawberry puree and swirl that around as well. But first we're gonna add our batter, smoothing it out. Literally just taking a toothpick and a little bit of strawberry puree, and I'm just gonna drizzle it. I think that looks cool. I'm looking at it on the camera. I want y'all to see too. This is what we're working with. Focus. Hey. I think that's cool. So we're gonna go ahead and add that into the oven now. So we're gonna bake it at 350 for only 10 minutes, and then we're gonna decrease the temperature to 300 and bake that for 45 minutes. So we are now going into the oven. And while we got our cheesecake in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead. This is our second to last one that I'm gonna do. So next, who would I duke it out in the kitchen with? I don't know what I wrote with this one. I could kind of see the pen like behind the paper a little bit, but it had looked like it said Jake Paul. That's why I said that. I was like, I know I ain't right there. Oh, okay. Coco Jones for sure. I thought that's another like, I don't gotta explain that one. Coco Jones is mad funny, bro. Coco Jones is cool. She's on Let It Shine, so you know that's my homegirl. First question I would ask her if we got in the kitchen though is, why you look at that picture and you just assume? Why you ain't asked? Like, come on, you trying to say Cyrus was ugly? That's what I'm getting. But I definitely would cook Coco Jones, also an amazing singer. I love that song with her and Leon Thomas. Which one? Older, girl. You know that song? Okay, well, if y'all don't know that song, then act like you do. But yeah, Coco Jones would definitely be cool to cook with. That's really the goal, honestly, like just to take this far and like cook and like interview celebrities. Like I feel like that would be super cool. But if that doesn't happen as well, I'm still a chef. I still like to cook. But yeah, and then I got one more name in my pocket. But honestly, I'll probably answer that once I pull the cake out the oven or once I decorate it. But y'all, I'm praying this cheesecake comes out good. I've never done this before. Literally, like, so we just gonna hope it comes out good. But I'm gonna see y'all whatever the next clip is. Very interested to see. So we're gonna allow it to cool for 15 minutes. I don't know how this is about to come out, y'all. I'm so nervous.
Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! SpongeBob, careful! Careful, SpongeBob!
Okay, so our cheesecake is out of the oven. And honestly, let me just pick up the camera here. This is what we're working with. So I was saying I was looking at inspiration for exactly how I should top this. And I was gonna say if the swirl came out nice, then I was just gonna leave it like this and then just put strawberries on top. But for most strawberry cheesecakes that I was seeing, a lot of people went ahead and just did like a strawberry syrup over the top. Like I'm assuming they ladled it. We don't have a ladle, so I'm gonna find a way to make it work. But yeah, I'm gonna let it cool for 15 minutes and then I'm gonna go ahead and decorate it and everything, and that's what y'all will be seeing in the next clip. So hopefully this came out right. I'm also gonna open it and everything. And so now we're gonna release it. My bad. But I did see on TikTok, like if the surface cracks like how it did, I think you're supposed to like heat up a spoon and like smoothing it out, and I tried to do that and it like took a piece of the cheesecake with it. So we're just gonna say that this will suffice for my first time. Excuse me, y'all. Now it's time to release it from the pan. This is the part we've all been anticipating, you've been waiting on. Let's just go ahead, do a little more. I'm so scared because it's already cracking. I'm like, what if it just implodes once I open it? If I release this and it implodes, guys. Hold on. Okay, it's like warm. I'm trying to make sure it's like touchable. Ah! Y'all see that? I'm already messing up. Okay, honestly, because it's warm, I'm just gonna slide this out from underneath carefully. I never used one of these before. All right. All right. Bro, I'm gonna cry. It looked like it's finna stay. I just made cheesecake. Yo. Okay. Okay. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous, bro. Okay. This is what we're looking like. As y'all can see, oh my goodness. I just made a cheesecake. That's crazy. But we still gotta make sure it holds up. You feel me? Once I actually cut a slice, because you know the crust is just as important as the batter. So we're gonna go ahead, dress it up, and then we're gonna get a little slice and see how it's tasting, all of that. Let's see, guys. Let's finish this game I started. All right, last name on the list, guys. I already know who this one is because I didn't get it yet. So it saved the best for last, low key. Y'all can't read it because don't want to focus, but it's Chef Kim Creations. Another self-explanatory one. She's a fellow chef. She's hilarious, and her meals be looking so good. Like, I definitely gotta get in the kitchen with her. I have a lot to learn from her. If you want to hire me as your little apprentice or something like that, your little sous chef, yeah. But all them people that I mentioned, I would definitely love for them to come in my kitchen, be sous chef. If you come in my kitchen, I'll definitely be your sous chef. You definitely got it. You know more than me. But yeah, that'd be really cool if I could cook with her. She is an amazing chef. I think she's so cool. And since we don't have a ladle, I feel like the next best thing is gonna be this rubber spoon right here, or yeah, or like one of these curved. Should I use one of these like curved? What do y'all think? Answer right now at home. I'm gonna use this because it's kind of similar to a ladle. So we're gonna basically, essentially, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like try to create like a dripping decoration, but only on like the exterior, and then I'm gonna go over the top of like the exterior with some strawberries that I sliced up over here, and then in the center I'm just gonna do one strawberry. But we're gonna pray this comes out good. This comes out good, guys, because ain't no going back from here. Go more towards the edges because that wasn't good. I wanted to create that drip effect. So we got this, what we're working on right here. So for our center, and honestly, I kind of want some more. So I'm gonna just very carefully where the strawberry is going to be placed at. I wanted it to look a little. Oh man, I got some over here. First I'm gonna spread it slightly different directions. I'm a perfectionist, guys, if you can't tell. I'm sorry, I really can't help it. Okay. This. Okay. Okay. We're going. We're just gonna have to go with it. And then around the exterior. I'm just gonna say I'm satisfied. The design, okay, it's cool. I guess, you feel me? Like, it's straight from my first time. Let me give you guys the little bird's eye of the overall final product. Okay, so this is what we're working with. My only notes I have for myself is the cracked surface overall. But I figured that was gonna happen because it's my first time. But overall, I think it came out pretty good. I think it's a very, very, very beautiful cake. So now all we gotta do is get into it and try it. I low-key don't want to try this, guys, just because I don't like cheesecake and I feel like it's a waste of calories, but I also haven't eaten all day. So what are we gonna do about that? But I need to prove to y'all that it's holding its shape. So I'm gonna cut a slice and then we'll try it. So let me go ahead and grab me a little plate. I'm not nervous, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very, very nervous. The only other cheesecake I ever had was from Cheesecake Factory and it was red velvet. So I'm not sure taste-wise what I'm looking for. Obviously something good. But yeah, let's just get into it. So I'm gonna cut me a little slice. I'm nervous. Okay, I'm nervous. All right, come on. Okay. Okay, y'all heard that little. Y'all heard that? That was from the crust. Y'all see? I got my little sliver. Okay, and the crust held. All right, it's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. No way, it's not good. We gonna see. Now I'm excited, actually. The crust held up to. What? Man, what? How to cake that? I'm taking your throne. Respectfully, if you could pass the crown down to me, I'm coming for you. All right. Honestly, I'm gonna get a bite that has everything. So a bite that has the little crust, the everything, the syrup, all of that. So we're gonna see how it tastes. I'm so nervous, guys. Let's see. We're gonna get us a nice bite. Y'all taste it first. Let me know what y'all think. All right, bet. Hold on. Because I don't even like cheesecake, but hold on. I might have just did my biggest one ever. Hold on, let me get a piece of the strawberry. Alright, I like cheesecake. I'm not gonna like Cheesecake Factory. Y'all just can't cook. It must be frozen, because that's good. Mind y'all, this is my first time making cheesecake too. That's good. That's very good. Okay? I ain't gonna talk, y'all. Just know, it's good. It's good. So, if you follow along with this recipe at home, I promise you, you're gonna be licking your plate clean, scraping it clean just like me. But I appreciate you guys so much for so much for watching. If you got any suggestions on what I should bake or cook next, go ahead, leave them in the comments below. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my other channel too if you're interested in vlogs and just regular videos. I'll put that link in the description. And yeah, I'll see y'all whatever the next video is. Thank y'all so much for watching. Stay safe.